with like things like this. Um, hmm. Let me try. Let's try putting that thing back in. The set to. So I wanted to put a. Now, this doesn't work with plugin commands, but maybe it'll work here. No, it doesn't. Okay. They get escaped. So. So let's move this down another line. So we say we're adding 30, so 75, 30 onto that would be 105. So basically we're just adding 35 to what we have, so this will be 135, and then this will be 165. And then let's make this a variable. We'll just say desk text. And then up here, we'll say is var desk text equals nothing. Now, let me check the bank real quick, because I have some code that I created to handle that situation. I think it's in the bond information creation, which would actually be over in objects for that, and I will have to go to the repository. Okay, this. Equals, so this dot underscore wep dot underscore description dot replace. So let's see what this does. Well, it's sort of kind of did nothing. So draw text, placing it with a, so maybe draw text. I'll have to look up and see exactly how maybe we can do that. But so you can see it's changing things now, which is good. Awesome. So I think we'll leave it off for there for right now. I will probably do some streaming tomorrow morning, and then maybe a bit when I get back home from work tomorrow. And we will continue working on this, and I think the next step will be to, so what will happen is we'll have, when you select the sword, this action pane will go away, and a new one will show up down below it, and this window will actually expand to the right, and maybe down a bit. Well, it depends. We'll see. Have to see how that works, because if we put it below that, so maybe not. Maybe what will just happen is we'll have this window just drop down to the bottom of the screen when we select the weapon, and it'll show all the other information. And then what will happen is that we'll leave this selected window shown, and then below it we'll show our, no, we'll hide this or change this. I'm more favorable to hiding it so we're not modifying what's in there, because then that could change what's displayed over here based on what the coding is. So maybe we'll just hide this window, open another one in the exact same place, maybe shorter or something, or it may not be shorter because I won't put this stuff in here, the plus stuff. I'll leave that out. So it'll just be the item name. So we can shrink the window a little bit down and make this a little bit larger. But we'll hide that one, put up another one that'll list the options. So the level up, refine, synthesize, and repair. And then underneath this one in this small section here, we'll put another window that will be that'll show the cost to do the action, as well as maybe required items. So you'll have a required item, the item name, the number, and then the OK or cancel, and then we'll have those items be highlighted based on whether or not you have them, and then also highlight the or maybe gray out the options that are not.
We got to a point where we have the weapons showing up in the weapon list here, and we also have the weapon information showing up over here in the status window. And it updates the information. What we're going to be working on now is when we click on this to do the OK select, we're going to be changing the size of this window and also displaying a window down here. Let's see. I'm still trying to decide how to do this. Well, first of all, let's do this. First of all, let's fix this stuff and so we can resize it and see what the actual size of this window will be. So we're not gonna have this stuff on here anymore. We're not gonna do any of that. So actually, as a matter of fact, we can just take this and put it back down here, and just take this X. We won't need that. Then we can change this to 2. I didn't even see that up there earlier. Alright. Now, save that. And let's drop the width of this window for the weapon list a little bit. Crap, I went way too far up. Scene blacksmith weapon list. So we have the width set to 250. Let's try dropping it to 175. We'll need to change this down here to 175 as well. Okay, should be good. Let's go ahead and restart. See what it looks like. Okay, it looks okay. The main problem is that this is still too small for that. So the text size is 22. Let's see. What if we change the text size down to, well, font size down to, say, 18. Just looking for ways to kind of maybe not have to make this too large. The problem is that it's based on the weapons that are available. And weapon names can be just whatever, so it's kind of hard to make a standard size for this. I almost want to make so that's kind of better, but I mean it's kind of small on the text size. I think 20 is probably the lowest you want to go. But what I'm talking about is, so like if you go to the item screen here, you have something like this, where you just list out everything. I almost want to do something like this first, but if we do it this way, there won't be a status window. I want to be able to at least see some basic information on it, so you can tell which one of these is which. Because we have multiple swords, and you want to find the one sword that's like a level 5 sword that has, you know, whatever. Like, for example, let me just go grab some more. So, like, if we didn't have this here, you'd be looking at this saying, like, oh, which sword is this? You know, which ones are these? You'd have to go in there, look, select it, then look at the stats, and if it's wrong, come back out. So I think this is probably the best way. It's just, you know, dealing with the text size. So let's put this back to 20. And let's put this back to... Alright, even on that size though, that text for the Ton of Darkness is still getting crushed. So it's still not large enough for that. So let's put it back to 250 and see what that looks like. So, I mean, it's still kind of being crushed, actually, which is interesting. Well, actually, no, that is right. Oh, well, it looks like it's right, but I think it's still a little bit crushed. Draw action item, item width. Draw action item. Oh, so we're doing a rect width. So item rect for text. Text padding. So we're just using the text padding, which is what? Set to 6. Okay. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so we have all this space here that we're not using really. So just the main problem is going to be, you know, dealing with the descriptions, which I didn't actually try and figure it out. So let's make this 275. Don't want to go too big on the selection window. That might have to be something that has to be a parameter so that it can be adjusted based on whatever name people are using. Yeah, that's better. That looks more well, actually no, because you can see we have way more space now on this selection, the empty space here. So actually, we could probably put it back to where it was. It doesn't seem like it's being crushed. Or maybe it was being crushed, but not very much. So 275 is too much. Maybe 255 will be just the right amount. Again, your mileage will vary on this because it depends on the length of your weapon names. So if you have a weapon that's, you know, 20 or something character name with it or something, yeah. There's no help for you. Yes, that's not so bad. Okay, so we have this stuff. Now what I want to do is on weapon select, we want to hide this window. So this dot underscore web list window dot hide, and this dot underscore web list wind dot deactivate. I think that's, yeah. Next we want to create, so basically I'm just going to take this, well, yeah. I'm going to take this, and we're just going to basically copy it down here and change just what we need to. So create, what's this one called? Action pane. Create action pane. So all the same stuff, except web action pane. We'll call it action window actually instead of pane. So window action pane. We will not pass through the weapon. So we don't, well, it's the status window. We won't need to do that. So okay, we need to cancel. We don't need a refresh on this. That there. So okay. Now on that, we need to now do this dot create action window. Create weapon action window. Weapon action window. And then we need to go this dot. Come on. Alright, and then let's see, on web act select and on web act select cancel. Okay. Now, so we'll need to go build this window. So window underscore action pane dot prototype. Equals object dot create object window selectable dot prototype. So okay, will we need to pull the width, height, and XY information out of this? That's an interesting question. Um, so we're just gonna have what, one, two, three, like 4 or 5 options in this. So we need to have level up, level up, refine, synthesize, repair, and cancel. Yeah, 5. So I think what we could do is, because that's only going to add a little bit more, so we can actually probably take some of the height off of this. The reason why we're doing a lot of height on the weapon select is because we want to have a lot of weapons being shown, so that we can, so you don't have to scroll through too much. Like if we only did 2 or 3, and you had like 10 or 12 or 20 or 30 weapons in the party, in the game party weapons list, you'd have to scroll a whole bunch. So for this stuff, we're not going to do any scrolling. It's going to be a static list. So we should be able to just have it work. We'll need to, we do need to pass the help window through though. How did that go? So, create bank details, no. Create, action pane. So we just pass through set help window, this help window. Okay. Let me go do that, as well as modifying the set help window? Yeah. We need to call show help window and refresh, I guess. Actually, no. Show help. The help window is already being shown. Oh, that's interesting. It is being shown already. So maybe we'll do some work to where initially the help window isn't there. So maybe we can move this stuff up a bit and make this a bit bigger so we can have more lines of text. Anyway, so it's already being shown. I don't think we need to show it. So now the width we want to drop to so let's see, refine, repair, synthesize, level up, cancel. None of those are going to be as long as Katana of Darkness, but they're not going to be as short as sword either. Somewhere in the middle, say 175, and on the height, we could probably drop that down to maybe 215, I'm thinking. We'll see how that works. Now, we need to call window selectable dot prototype dot initialize dot call this XY width and height, and then we need to this dot com list equals, so level up refine synthesize. And repair. And then cancel. Whoops, what the hell am I doing? I am creating a list of lists instead of creating a list of strings. Okay, there we go. Then cancel. So now this underscore help text list, I think is what that one is. Haven't used enough to know it by heart. Help txt list, yeah. So, level up your weapon. Refine your weapon. And these might be something that you could set as a parameter as well. There's going to be a lot of things to get parameterized in this, and we'll probably do so. But it's going to be a really complex plugin, so there's going to be all kinds of places where we could find things to parameterize and pull out so that they could be set, changed to whatever a developer would want to change it to. So refine, synthesize. We're just going to use the mount your friends naming convention here. Repair your weapon. And then turn the precious. Turn the precious to Gollum. Turn the previous window, I guess. Or return to weapon select. Okay. Then call this dot refresh. I think we do have to implement the draw items. I have a command items one up here, don't I? Yeah, let's just copy this. Okay. Now, on... We also want the on... prototype dot... on OK select. On process OK. On process OK equals function index the underside of the index. We are going to need a store. Well, I'd like to not pull the index out just straight from it. I'd like to pass it out through a function like you're supposed to do. That's what object-oriented programming is all about. So, we will pass out the... So the index will pass out the... Like I did with the... over there in the bank, will pass out the com list text for the selection, index selected. So we will create a new variable up here, list underscore selection equals nothing.